Hi everybody, it's Tuesday, September 30th, 2025. Last day of quarter 3, 2025. Look out tomorrow, could get pretty volatile. We'll start with our headline today. Gold copper ratio explodes, most stretched since 1850. Longtermtrends.net has the copper to gold ratio dating all the way back to 1849, and this chart shows that we are currently at a ratio of 87 millionths copper's price has to the gold price. If we zoom in a little bit to the 100-year chart, we can look at the last time we got near that low was 88 millionths. This was in 1980, October to December of 1980. And to see what that looks like on the gold chart itself in 1980, we were in a range peaking at $879 an ounce, between there and $450 an ounce in gold. And that peak in 1980 at $873 had not been seen for another 30 years. You had to wait all the way until 2008 in order to get the same price that you had to pay at its peak in 1980. Could we be at a peak in gold now, or can gold continue higher? It's very exciting to see gold outpacing so many other asset classes, getting to today intraday high of 38.73, almost $3,900 an ounce for gold. When things perform well and get really, really expensive, they feel safe and you don't want to miss out. That's how it feels. I can't help feel the energy of it myself, being like, oh darn, like I gotta get some gold, like maybe it'll keep going higher and higher. And while it could, the value investor in me takes a look at this chart dating back 175 years, so I'm gonna have to still take a pass. Second headline today, JOLTS job openings came out basically flat today. The number was slightly higher than the forecast, basically in line with expectations, and completely flat month over month. If this begins to flatten out and go up, well, that would be a good sign for the economy. Right now, all we can say is that it's neutral, going flat. Next, I wanted to bring up the consumer confidence from the conference board coming out today. Their headline, a sharp deterioration in consumers' views of the current economic situation weighed on confidence. Some highlights: the consumer confidence weakened in September, declining to the lowest level since April of 2025. And among consumers' write-in responses, there was a rise in mentions of jobs and employment to a level unseen since August 2024. The comments were mostly negative, especially when referring to the current situation. There were a few positive comments which mostly conveyed hopes that things would get better. So that does not sound very confident to me. So once again, we're back to the theme that, it's largely fear of things falling apart, and things aren't completely falling apart, not quite yet. Next, community topics. What type of investor are you? Comment below. Are you a swing trader? Are you a value investor? Are you a momentum trader? What's your strategy? Comment below. I'm very curious. Thank you for your replies yesterday. I asked what 3 holdings you would have if you could only have 3 things up until 2027. It was very, very interesting, all of your comments. Thank you for all of your input. Coming up, we no longer have the employment report coming out because apparently tonight the federal government's going to be shutting down because of arguments over how they want to spend money, I guess. And then tariff updates. Don't forget about those pesky tariff updates, which keep coming and can continue to affect things. Thank you for watching, liking, subscribing, commenting, and supporting Robschild. No changes to my crystal ball readings. And click on my website in the description to see my daily reminders, macro current views, portfolio explained, and stock research center. Like I said before, I do plan on updating this very soon. On to the charts, starting with SPX S&P 500 rising 0.4% today, so close to all-time highs, and I find it interesting that alongside this and the VIX still being very low, especially considering that the beginning of October could potentially be very volatile. So I'm not seeing the fear out there, but it is interesting to me that the CNN Business updated their fear and greed index to neutral today, interestingly. Mostly on the back of losing momentum. And we don't just have a loss of momentum in the short term when we switch to a weekly chart. Since really March of 2024, we've been seeing lower highs. And if we scroll out even further, we have a series of lower highs ever since 2018, January of 2018, all while the stock market just continues to rip higher and higher. The market clearly playing upside down limbo. How high can you go? How high can you go before you fall over? Follow the semis, they say on Wall Street. The semiconductors represented by SMH finding a new closing all-time high today. This can act as a market leader to say, yeah, we can keep going higher here, along with NVIDIA making a new all-time high. With assets this expensive, I won't be surprised if we get some kind of Black Wednesday, maybe even tomorrow. And that's all from me and my crystal ball. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Robschild.